change is the most static concept in our life is change. It sounds contradictory, but it's actually true. Whether it is season turning, new technology reshaping our lives, or even some fresh idea challenging the old, change is surrounding us everywhere. When I was trying to prepare this presentation, I was trying to ask myself what would be the best intro I can start and telling people about this topic and what's the framework of what is the changing models and what's the framework of these changing models. And I tried to recall some of my personal experience, starting by an Arabic language teacher in Egypt, moving from national curriculum to international curriculum, starting to be involved in IB education, and then moving from Egypt after I got my PhD, going to here, working here for around 6 years, moving again to work in Kuwait, and then coming back here. So I was asking myself, I actually went through a lot of changes in my life, and I have seen a lot of different types of school management and school leaders, and everyone has his unique perspective. Every school has its own vision, and I tried my best actually to cope with it, to understand it, especially coming from as an Arabic teacher, no zero word in English, and then I have to teach myself. I have to go with this international. I have to apply to be a workshop leader and to be a program leader, doing visits around the world. So it's all came to my mind, how can I know how I can manage a change, whether it is personally in my life or even when I became a school leader in different contexts. So I started by why actually managing change is important. I found out without having this or knowing how to manage it, you cannot have a positive learning environment. So being aware what is the framework, how you can actually manage change, it's helping you to creating a positive learning environment as a teacher, as a leader, and also fostering innovation and adaptability. Working now in this world where everything is changing related to innovation, related to AI, related to technology, you need to also cope with it. It's also reducing resistance. And this one thing was actually resonate to me, because me myself, sometimes I was so resistant to this change. I was thinking, whatever I know, it is the right thing. Whatever I actually doing it, and I'm doing it right, so it's fine, it's working. Why you are not actually accepted? Why you are trying to convince me with this change? So when you know how to manage a change effectively, this will actually reduce this change, reducing this resistance, and eventually enhancing school culture and performance in all school aspects. It wasn't like an easy journey to know how to learn how I can do this, or there is a specific prescription, if I can say. Can I find a psychology scientist? And he is actually doing a very unique model. Started it with a very straightforward 3 steps. Unfreeze, change, refreeze. Whenever you are joining any new school, any institution, you will find something in there. People are used to do it, people are actually believe in it, or they are just don't willing to try something new. So you need to refreeze it, you need to unfreeze it, You need to give it to tell the people where is this change needed, what is it addressing, why it is necessary, and engaging stakeholders in this. Once the change is here, once you are started to implementing the new ideas, practice, guiding your team as a leader, here is where the change is happening. You need to go back and refreeze it. You need to solidify a powerful coalition with other stakeholders, with other members of staff. Then you need to create a vision of change. I remember here before, I think Nav, he was talking about creating a vision for schools and how is having a clear vision. It's very important to drive your institution, to drive the school to be a successful place. So you need to create this vision. And this vision shouldn't be only in your head. Sometimes a leader have a very clear vision. He knows what he wants to do, but it is not there. It is not a reality. That's why you need to create it and then communicate it. Communicate it clearly. I'm going to link it also to my personal experience, because when I was working in the schools in Egypt and moving to here, I wouldn't understand actually what my leaders and what my school management wants me to do. It was very hazy for me. What's going on? Why you are asking me to do this? You already interviewed me. You found me a good teacher. You want me to come here. So why I need to do all this major change, which is affecting my job and affecting my daily based performance very, very direct, in a very direct way. So why I need to do this? Here is what it was: a lack of communication. They didn't make it clear to me why this vision is important, and how can I know what they are thinking and what is the end point as well. Then he wants to remove obstacles. Of course, it will not be an easy way to doing this change. To implement it, you will face with many obstacles. You need to identify it, eliminate this barrier to change. Whatever it is, you have to look and have a clear plan how to remove these obstacles. Then you have to go for create a short-term wins. Definitely, people are impatient. People will stay until the end. They're getting bored, especially if it takes a long time. So if you have a vision, if you have a plan for as a 2 years plan, a long-term plan, don't wait until the end of this period until you show people what is the outcome, what's the results. You have to create some short-term wins. Then they will feel the importance of this change. Then they will know exactly why we are doing this and how we can benefit from it. And then you will start to build on this change, because you already have this one. You have these things. It's ready now. You can start to build on it. And finally, you will anchor the change in school culture. It became a school culture. You don't need, or you are not going to face any problem after this one, any resistance. It's now part of the school. And then I found out there is another model which is more happening in business, which is called the Edgar model, created by Professor Jeff Hayat. He is the founder of a company called ProSci. This company is actually specialized in business in general. However, it's also resonate to education. The Edgar model stands for awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, reinforcement. The 5 steps you can, that's why we call it Edgar model. The 5 steps you need to implement when you are going to implement a new change or creating a change in your institution, in your school. Creating this awareness. Again, stakeholders need to know why change is happening. Everyone in the school, everyone in the institution needs to know it very well. And then you have to create this desire. Leaders foster a desire for change by involving everyone in this process. They need to feel it's coming from us. They need to feel they are the powering force for this change. And then the knowledge. They need to come to you and know exactly how you can guide them through this change process. And they have the ability to lead this change. And when it comes to the ability, sometimes, you might feel, you might find some of your staff members, they are not willing enough or they might be not capable enough. That's fine. You can identify this and try to create this and try to train them to having this ability for change. And then reinforcement, regular reinforcement, making it as a culture for your schools. These changes will not come easily for you. Of course, you are going to have resistance. Whether the model you are going to implement, whatever it is, you are going to some in resistance, and it could be minor, it could be bigger. So how you can overcome this resistance? First thing, engage stakeholders early. Don't start your change, don't start the process without communicating it to the stakeholders and actually getting them engaged in this process very early. And then again, communicate clearly. This is one thing. If I am going to focus on one crucial thing, is clear communication when you are trying to implement any sort of change in your institution. And finally, offer support and training. Not everyone has the same abilities, not everyone has the same response to what you want them to do. So you have to give them some support. You need to offer them some support and training to make them actually come on board. Leading change is not an easy way. It's not a mechanic. It's not just following these steps, whether it is these three models framework, which is there are too many other models. It is not that way only. It's about how you can inspire people. How can you actually getting them or getting this change as a school culture? This change is a heartbeat. In education, it is actually a heartbeat of it. It is not just an external force that's driving us. It is something reminds us of our responsibility to prepare students to be in a new or to deal with a world which is constantly change and evolve. Thank you.